He looked like the guy next door. Handsome, charming, with a smile that could light up a room. Ted Bundy was the last person you'd suspect of evil. But in the 1970s, he became a nightmare, hunting women with cold, clever tricks. His brutal crimes stunned everyone. His daring escapes shocked the world, and his dark secrets still chill us today. Theodore Robert Bundy was born on November 24, 1946, in Burlington, Vermont. His early life was messy from the start. His mother was young and unmarried, which was a big scandal back then. To avoid shame, Ted grew up believing his grandparents were his parents and his mom was his sister. Weird, right? He didn't learn the truth until he was a teenager, and it hit him hard. Some say this messed up family dynamic planted seeds of anger and confusion in him. Ted's childhood wasn't exactly normal. He was shy, awkward, and didn't fit in easily. But he was smart, really smart, and good-looking, with a charming smile that would later become his deadliest weapon. As a kid, he showed creepy signs. He'd sneak around at night, peep into windows, and once placed knives around his aunt while she slept. These were red flags, but no one thought much of it at the time. By the time he hit college at the University of Washington in the 1960s, Ted seemed to have it together. He was studying psychology, dating a pretty girl named Stephanie Brooks, and dreaming of a big future in law or politics. But when Stephanie dumped him in 1968, saying he lacked ambition, something snapped. Ted was heartbroken and obsessed with winning her back. This breakup, some experts believe, was a trigger that pushed him toward darkness. By the early 1970s, Ted Bundy was living a double life. On the outside, he was a charming, clean-cut guy, studying law, working at a crisis hotline, even saving a kid from drowning once. People loved him. Women trusted him. But underneath, he was a predator. And in 1974, he started killing. Bundy's method was terrifyingly simple. He'd pretend to be injured, wearing a fake cast or using crutches, to seem harmless. He'd approach young women, often college students, asking for help with something like carrying books to his car. His good looks and smooth talk made them let their guard down. Once they were alone, he'd knock them out, kidnap them, and take them to a secluded spot. What he did next was horrific. He raped, tortured, and murdered his victims, sometimes returning to their bodies for days or even weeks to commit necrophilia. Yeah, it's as sick as it sounds. His first known victim was 21-year-old Linda Ann Healy, a University of Washington student. In January 1974, she vanished from her basement apartment in Seattle. Police found blood on her bed, but no body. Soon, more women started disappearing in Washington. Always young, attractive, with long hair parted in the middle. Bundy had a type, and he was hunting. By summer 1974, he was getting bolder. He killed 2 women in one day at Lake Sammamish, a popular park. Witnesses saw a handsome guy named Ted in a cast, asking women for help with his sailboat. Janice Ott and Denise Naslund vanished that day. Their remains were later found in the woods. Bundy's killing spree spread fear across the Pacific Northwest. Bundy didn't stay in Washington. In 1974, he moved to Utah to study law at the University of Utah. But he wasn't there to study. He was there to kill. Women started disappearing in Utah, then Colorado, and later Idaho. His pattern was the same: charm, trick, kidnap, kill. He'd often keep souvenirs, like jewelry or even body parts, to relive his crimes. One of his most haunting murders was 17-year-old Laura Aim, who vanished from a Halloween party in 1974. Her body was found a month later, beaten and violated. Bundy's ability to blend in was his superpower. He worked part-time in politics, dated women, and even rekindled his romance with Stephanie Brooks, the girl who dumped him. She had no idea she was dating a monster. Meanwhile, police were starting to connect the dots. Witnesses described a Ted driving a tan Volkswagen Beetle, and sketches of the suspect looked eerily like Bundy. In August 1975, Bundy's luck ran out. For a moment, a Utah Highway Patrol officer pulled him over for driving suspiciously. Inside his Beetle, police found a creepy toolkit, handcuffs, a crowbar, a ski mask, rope, and garbage bags. They didn't have enough to nail him for murder, but he was charged with possession of burglary tools. Soon, detectives linked him to the attempted kidnapping of Carol Deer Runch, a woman he tried to abduct in a mall by posing as a police officer. She escaped, and her testimony was key. In 1976, Bundy was convicted of kidnapping and sent to prison in Utah. But here's where it gets wild. While in jail, investigators started tying him to the murders. They found his car matched descriptions. His credit card records placed him near crime scenes, and hair from victims was found in his car. Bundy was charming in court, acting as his own lawyer, but the evidence was piling up. Bundy wasn't done. In June 1977, while awaiting trial in Colorado for the murder of Karen Campbell, he escaped. How? He was in a courthouse library, unguarded, and jumped out a second-story window. For 6 days, he hid in the mountains, stealing food and dodging police. He was caught, but the legend of Ted Bundy was growing. Then, in December 1977, he escaped again, this time from a jail cell by crawling through a ceiling vent. He made it to Florida, where he grew a beard, stole a car, and started over. But he couldn't stop killing. On January 15, 1978, he committed his most brazen crime, the Chi Omega sorority house attack at Florida State University. In the middle of the night, he broke in, bludgeoned 4 women, and killed 2, Margaret Bowman and Lisa Levi. He bit Levi during the attack, leaving a mark that would later haunt him. That same night, he attacked another woman nearby, Cheryl Thomas, but she survived. Bundy's final known victim was 12-year-old Kimberly Leach, a schoolgirl he kidnapped from Lake City, Florida. In February 1978, her body was found weeks later in a pig shed. This murder showed how far Bundy had spiraled. He was no longer just targeting college women. Bundy's Florida rampage ended on February 15, 1978, when a Pensacola police officer stopped him for driving a stolen car. He gave a fake name, but his fingerprints gave him away. Ted Bundy, the charming law student, was finally in custody for good. His trials were a circus. In 1979, he faced charges for the Chi Omega murders. Bundy, ever the showman, acted as his own lawyer, charming the courtroom with his wit. But the evidence was overwhelming. The bite mark on Lisa Levi matched his teeth. Witnesses placed him at the scene, and his own arrogance tripped him up. He was convicted and sentenced to death. A second trial in 1980 for Kimberly Leach's murder sealed his fate with another death sentence. While on death row, Bundy started confessing to dozens of murders, some say as many as 36, though he hinted at more. He gave chilling details, hoping to delay his execution. He even offered to help catch other killers, playing mind games with police. Ted Bundy's charm couldn't save him forever. On January 24, 1989, at age 42, he was executed in Florida's electric chair. Outside the prison, crowds cheered, holding signs like "Fry, Ted, Fry." His death closed a dark chapter, but his story still fascinates and horrifies. Bundy was a master manipulator, a psychopath who used his good looks and intelligence to hide pure evil. Experts still debate why he became a monster: his messed up childhood, the breakup with Stephanie, or maybe just a broken brain. He left behind a trail of grief, with families of victims haunted forever. His case changed how police hunt serial killers. It led to better profiling, national databases, and awareness of charming predators. Bundy's name lives on in books, movies, and shows, like Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, because we're still trying to understand how someone so normal could be so monstrous.